This is the Scrutonian military. I am Major General Alexander Klimovich, and I would like to personally welcome you into the Scrutonian Republican Army. Our mission is to protect the people above all, and to spread our nation and defend it. You, the soldiers of this great nation, should be honored to be able to protect it and serve it. And for this, your nation owes you a great thanks and will forever give what it has to offer, which is freedom and respect. Now, what you need to know going into this battle, and possibly this war, or any war for that matter, is that you are created for one purpose. You are here for one purpose: to bring glory to yourself and to your nation, and to leave an everlasting mark. We are the generation that will mark the Scrutonian history forever. That will build this republic from the grave and the ashes of the old empire and the old republic and the old kingdoms and the clans of before. Remember this when charging into battle. This is for you and for the people you protect and the nation you seek to glorify. Now, the battle will be hard fought. There will be losses, but there will be gains. Massive gains. Land, glory, honor, whatever you seek is found here. Now, let's get started on the important stuff. You, the soldier, must know how to carry a Nerf rifle and must know how to use it. You will be assigned a specific specialty weapon that'll either be a sniper, a machine gun, or a artillery piece, a mega probably, or anything that falls in between those lines. Now that will be in addition, unless other specified, it'll be in addition to your primary weapon and could serve as a secondary, or you could choose to have a secondary pistol on you if you so desire. Now, melee combat, the thing about melee combat is you need training beforehand. Anyone can aim and anyone can shoot, but melee is a little bit trickier. And so that we will reserve for actual boot camp training. But the basics you need to know is do not block. Do not block. Of course, if they're going at you, block, but your goal isn't to attack the sword, it is to attack the person. Once you do that, you're winning. Now, to continue on, rifle training and secondary and all that will be covered in boot camp, or you should probably know that, that's pretty basic. What will you carry on you? Well, for starters, a weapon. You're not going to be going into battle basically naked. You're not going to do that. So you'll have your weapons: primary, secondary, special, melee, a combination of those, whatever you like, whatever your commanding officers tell you. Now, in addition to that, if you have been assigned to the position of medic, then you probably should have some sort of medical equipment, whether that be band-aids or a first aid kit, something like that, and you will obviously be trained in those things. In addition to that, we ask that everyone carry their own water and their own rations. Depending on how long the battle is, you might get a little bit hungry. And at that point, those will probably be carried in either in a jacket like this, standard military jacket, or in a backpack, whatever you so desire. What to expect from the battle? Well, expect it to be hard. You are going to you're going to have fun. Let's just say that. You're going to have fun. Because what male wouldn't like to hold a gun and shoot people and run around? It's fun. That's the most important part, okay? Let's be serious here. Our main goal, win. But winning is fun. So really, our main goal is to have fun, which is winning. But have fun if you're losing too. Just try and win. But either way, fight. Fight like hell. And what to expect on the battlefield is you will be asked to carry out orders. You will be given orders and you will need to carry them out. And if you can do them, if there's even an ounce of you that can do them, then do them. They are your orders given to you by commanding officers, and you're expected to carry out those orders. And if you do not, then consequences may be taken by commanding officers. And I don't expect anybody to have a problem with that authority, but if it were to come up, then, well, let's just say that the final authority is me. I am the highest rank. I have been given this power by the people, and just know that whatever my decision, whether you like it or not, it will stand, because of course you can technically court-martial me if you don't like it, but I wouldn't try. Okay, officers. Officers, you are expected to lead and to be a good example. Remember, here are the ranks: private, sergeant, major, general, major general. Now, whatever those ranks are, you're expected to, number one, if you're not on a battlefield, salute. Everyone knows how to salute. I hope you're in the military. Now, but you are still responsible for, as a commanding officer, to give your men respect. That is what they need, and that is what will facilitate a better communication and just relationship between commanding officer and subordinates. And that's what makes it run so well. You demand their respect, first of all. It's not that you earn it, but you can lose that respect eventually if you do not treat them well or you do not give good decisions. Now, on the battlefield, officers, you have a certain amount of autonomy to carry out your own orders in your squadron or corps. However, the final decision stands with the commander of the Grand Corps, which is me, or whoever the Major General is. And it's important that you stick to the plan. However, if something's not turning out too well, divot from the plan. Don't twist words, and remember that if you do not like a plan, then execute it as best you can, or how you would do it. If something were to happen where communication is cut off, in that instance, you have full autonomy over what your corps must do, whether that is sticking to the plan, or if the plan doesn't go too well, then diverting from it and doing your own thing until you get communication back. Now let's talk about communication. Communication is vital. I will have most likely walkie-talkies between the two corps so that we can continue to facilitate communication so that orders can be given or whereabouts of the enemy. Now we have, in the auxiliary corps, we have one airman, actually two, that's a mercenary technically. One hired airman who is basically in control of reconnaissance. We do not have naval warfare, we do not have air warfare, we do not have basically any branches besides the military. And so there's no way we could do that unless I don't know. Who knows what the future has in store, but that's all I have to say to you, officers. The thing I have to say to you is, no matter how hard it gets, stick in there. Always give 100%. You are not asked too much physically, but we ask you that, number one, you arrive on time, and also number two, that we do not get too verbally offensive against the enemy. I will ask that of the other side. However, a part of it is not getting offended when they try to offend you, because they're trying to get to your head. They're trying to make you mad. And if that happens, then we will have a discussion. Do not get into your own hands. Do not get emotional. Bring the problem to me or your commanding officer if you can't get it to me, and I or that other person will handle the situation. We will call a ceasefire and we will talk officer to officer. And, does anything, if anyone, I'll use the example of football. If there's a play that player doesn't like, that player should bring it to the coach, and the coach will talk to the ref. That's how it should be. Do not go directly to the ref. Do not go to the other side, because that will only make it worse. Lastly, I will talk about uniforms. This is the dress uniform for a major general, given by my insignia here, which is a cross, which is the major general, and it's standard green. This is an East German jacket. It has this is the general's armband, and pretty simple. In a battle, we will ask that you wear camo or green, as dark green as you can. If, say, we're fighting in snow, then it might change. We'll go to white, but just have some basic camo laid out. Doesn't have to be a full big jacket like this, but something camo or green or dark green at the very least, and some pants. I would suggest cargo shorts if it's during the summer, or some pants like these where you can take the bottom part off so that you have shorts, and it's also has a lot of storage. And I would also get a jacket that has a whole bunch of pockets so that you can store stuff in there. Otherwise, you're carrying around a big backpack and you can't really get to it very easily in the heat of battle. And so that's in battle uniform. This is a standard dress uniform. We ask that any officer will have a dress uniform, which is basically a red tie if you have one, a white shirt if you have one. Well, everyone should have a white shirt, and a green jacket or some sort of camo jacket with your insignia, your rank insignia on it. But that's basically it for uniforms. Oh, and hat wise, I mean, here's a standard military cap for general, but whatever cap suits you. And for regular enlisted men, you can have a dress uniform, however you're not required to. Alright, let's talk about parents and getting to the battles. I do not like having parents there. Why? We play rough. Don't show this to your parents, obviously. We are not going to physically, obviously we're not going to physically fight, but there will be, I don't know, one kid swearing in the back. It happens. And also, we want to be able to really have that independent feel. We really want to be able to have that feeling of you're actually on a battlefield and you're actually fighting, because you are. This is as real as it can get for us. And for transportation, we are not required to give you transportation. We can if we so choose to, and it's if possible, but you should have your own transportation. And if you really can't, then talk to your commanding officer. And officers, I will ask that you make sure that you get each and every one of your soldiers to the battle. And yeah, that's basically it. But another thing is authority. I touched on this before, but I will say that actions can be taken to ensure that you are put in your place, whatever your place may be. An officer can court-martial their subordinates if they directly choose to defy them, their orders. If they are, protocol orders, and in that case, we'll have a judge and a full court-martial, which will only be military. And as for punishments, no physical abuse may be used for officers whatsoever. However, you're entitled to a chew out. Just chew them out. That's all I ask of you officers. Just chew them out and make sure that that they know their place. And privates, don't be disheartened, because you can also take measures to make sure that your officer is doing his job. If he is not doing his job, not making sure that everyone gets to the battle, not making sure that everyone is set, and if he's just generally not doing a good job, file a complaint with me and I'll get through to it. Alright, thank you all. I look forward to seeing you on the battlefield.